Hi guys, Tony here. So we've got a WordPress Clone version 3 done, and I need to run through some of the basics. So this is going to be like an overview video. Then I'm going to go back and do some videos where it's for individual plugins. But I just want to give you an overview of what we've done here and why we've done it as well. Okay. Now, one of the first things you want to do, apart from doing your core tweaks plugin, I've got these activated here. These 41 active plugins here. Now you might not want all of those, and it's okay to take some of them off, but these are the ones I would be using, and I've got some inactive here, which are really like optional plugins, just for optional functionality. And a lot of the optional ones are really if you're going to be building an authority site or not. If you're just going to be building a quick site for AdSense or niche related sites that you just want to build quickly, you probably won't need these, but I've left them there as inactive, and you can choose to use those if you want to or not. Okay, so all of these ones that are activated are the ones that I'll be using myself, and I will be putting on top of this my premium plugins that I use, things like Digiarticle Blaster and those kind of plugins, that can get me some extra backlinks and things like that. So let's just take a look at what we got now. Now, one of the first things you want to do after you've done your core tweaks and you reactivate all the other plugins apart from those 14, unless you're going to build an authority site, what I suggest you do is do the WordPress SEO plugin first. Okay, now let me explain what needs to be done here. If I just click on this first, it's already been pre-configured as much as I could. I cannot put in your Google Webmaster Tools and Bing Webmaster Tools and Alexa verification IDs, because that's individual, up to you, what your IDs will be, etc. There, everything else is pretty much done, and there's an introduction to there within that plugin if you want to take a look and see the things in there. But I have configured it as much as I possibly can for you, and let me show you an example of that. If we click on the titles, you can see I've set all this stuff in here, these shortcodes. I've already done that for you. Now, I had to spend a bit of time, and actually, you know what happened was I'd spent time looking at videos. I did the Google search and went straight to videos, and then I found a really good blog post which the guy had actually put all this in there like this, and so I just copied it basically. It made a lot of sense after watching the videos what he was doing here, so that's what we've added in there. You can go back and change any of it, but I just recommend that you keep it like this. It's pre-configured, everything is there. The only thing that you're going to have to do in here is to go in and change your own titles, etc. So let's just take a look at some of the bits in here. So if we click on here for indexation, for example, and you can see that I have checked the things that we don't really need. I have reconfigured the robots meta settings as well, so that it can include the RSS feeds within when you submit to the Webmaster Tools for your sitemaps. And that was a tip that I got from Yoast the Volk watching his webinar, which I hadn't thought about myself, but it did make perfect sense. And when we come in here to the social area here, and you can see I've got it clicked for add Open Graph metadata. Now, if you don't know what Open Graph is, it's the configuration with Facebook. And what it does is when your content is shared on Facebook, it will import the correct picture, it will import the correct description, etc. And it's actually quite useful for SEO from what I've been reading up. Okay, so I did want to get that in there, and everything I've been doing with this version is trying to be more social friendly, because that's the way that we're going with the search engine rankings with Google, etc. These days it's all about user interactivity. It's all about being recommended by users, so that includes things like likes and shares and stuff like that. So it was really important I did get that in there. What you do need to do here is to choose either to use a Facebook page or use a Facebook app as an admin. You can just follow the instructions from there, but I will do a video on that later, how to do that, because we can do it in two different ways. You'll see in the inactive plugins there's something called Facebook AWD, which is supposed to be the very best Open Graph plugins available, but I do need time to get to do the videos to show you how to use that. But from Yoast the Volk doing this, I would recommend just using this if you want something simple and quick. And I think that even if you're building a niche site in a micro niche, it's better to get someone on Fiverr if you don't want to do it yourself. Just get some Facebook page, get a LinkedIn page, Even LinkedIn is optional, by the way. But definitely do a Twitter account, do a Facebook, and do a YouTube account, or do a YouTube channel as well for any niches that you're doing. That's what I would recommend these days, because it will help with your rankings and stuff like that. And you can put your front page settings in here. So for example, if I want to put this onto caseim.org, for example, I will put the URL maybe for an image that I've got on the site, and I just right click and copy image URL, and I put it in there. And this image URL here is actually for my caseim image on the site. That's for the logo, I believe, and I can put in a description, and that's what will show every time that your content is shared on Facebook. Okay, the Facebook AWD plugin goes a little bit further, because it defines not just the site itself, but into the actual posts and pages, etc., that you might want to share. So that makes it a little bit better as far as being a bit more advanced. Okay, so if we keep coming down, XML sitemaps. Now he's got an XML sitemap, and we've got a one-click XML sitemap already on there. I left it on there. You can choose to click that off if you want to use the other one. If you want to use this one, you might find it's got a little bit more options, but use one or the other. You don't need both. So if we go up to the tools up here, you'll see we've got XML sitemap as well somewhere. We should have. Actually, I think it might have been deactivated, so we'll keep this one checked, and this is already set up. Okay, and the settings are there, they're all already done. Now when we come into the permalinks, just wait for this to load, and you can see I've already got the settings in here the way they should be. Okay, there is somewhere as well that we do need to fill in some bits and pieces of information about the titles, unless I've misunderstood something, but let me just check. We've enabled breadcrumbs, and you can change this little thing here, the separator. You can change that to a comma or a pipe or anything else. I find this one works pretty well. Anchor text for the home page you need to put in yourself. You could use your website main keyword, but I would just put this in as home. This is for users really, and I would leave it like that. Prefix for the breadcrumb path, it just tells the people where they are, and all this kind of stuff about the archives, etc. It's already set up. And when it comes to custom taxonomies, which is either categories or tags, and you will see here, so it needs to be one or the other. Okay, and I've set this up for you just to be in categories. It's just the way I like to set up my own sites. If you want to change that, you can change it over to tags, but I would leave it at categories. Okay, and that one should be okay for you to use. Now the permalinks, I think I've set them for category and for posts within the actual settings area. When we get into the general settings, I don't see any thing in here that does anything different than that. I'm just making sure I haven't got it down twice or something else. No, that's okay. So the settings themselves, when you go into the permalinks, and when you go into general and permalinks, it will be set to category and post name. If you want to change that to post name, go ahead. One or the other. Let me come down a little bit more. RSS. And you'll see here I've already set this up so that it will show you a post link before the content, and at the end of the content it will show you author link, and it will show you blog description link as well. Why that's important is because it, especially with the author link, it will show your image of you as an author on the search results, etc. As that content starts to get picked up. So I think it's really important these days with the Panda updates that's happening, that we're using things like auto links and we're using rich snippets and stuff like that. So this will just link to whatever you've got in as your author link within the site itself when you go into the users. Okay, we will do another video how to use that as well. Okay, actually let's just cover that briefly before I finish this video. So I'll just open that in a new tab right now. Now you can import and export settings, and I recommend if you're going to be building or if you want to use this plugin on existing sites, you can just export those settings, and all you have to do here is just click on export settings and save it as, and then if you can install this WordPress SEO plugin in your existing sites, and then import the settings by choosing the file, so it will save as a text file or something like that. Okay, and then we can get into edit files, and that's where I've got robots.txt. And I removed the disallow for the feed, so that means the feed will get picked up and you can submit that to your webmaster tool. So all of these little bits and pieces, if they're sounding confusing to you, don't worry, I will do videos of them, and as soon as I get time to do them. So even if I'm only doing 1 or 2 videos a day, we will start updating in the WordPress SEO Blueprint area. And another important thing now, from next week we're going to start moving everything from the membership area into the own WordPress install, because it is getting a little bit confusing when people are trying to navigate around the membership area. It was okay when we had 2 products, and when we start to add more products it's starting to become very, very confusing for people. So that will be removed from there, so that we will send out details to everybody who's got the WordPress SEO Blueprint or the Fiverr or whatever course that you have taken from us, and we will give you new login details, etc. Okay, and we can start to separate those products so it's less confusing inside the membership area. Okay, so let me just go back up here for a second. Actually, excuse me. Okay, so I've got a little bit of confusion here, and I'm not really sure why. If I go over to KSIM, where I have the same plugin for the WordPress SEO, you can see here I've got this home page for singular pages, yeah, and I have set that the way that I needed it for my own site. And when we come over to the My Clone site, that option is not available. But what we do have in here is, and both of them seem to be up-to-date versions, which is really confusing. So I'm not quite sure what happened there and how that happened, but that's the way it is right now. So what we can do there is we can put the home page and front page titles from these 2 links here, and you would set that up like you normally do. Just make sure you're using about 70 characters for your title, about 160 characters for your description, and use your keywords and tags, etc. And that should be okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this as the first video, and what we will do then is we will go do an overview video of the other ones as well, so that I don't keep this too long. I don't want these videos to be like 40-50 minutes and just difficult to pick up again if you're busy or whatever. So I'm going to end this video now, and I'll go straight into the other video, and we'll carry on with the overview. And then once I've got the overview videos done, I will go back in as soon as I get time this coming week, and we will start to do individual videos like we did in the original WordPress SEO Blueprint, and we will add them to a different part of the site, which will be called version 3 updated videos. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.